Voting rights activists across the United States have one message for the White House: fewer words, more action. And one of those prominent voices, Derrick Johnson, president and CEO of the NAACP, who issued a statement after President Biden's speech in Atlanta yesterday saying, quote, "Our democracy stands in its final hour unless President Biden applies the same level of urgency around voting rights as he did for Build Back Better and infrastructure. America may soon be unrecognizable." And Derrick Johnson joins us now. So, Derrick, it is urgent, and critics, including yourself, say the White House just didn't prioritize voting rights in the same way it did with other issues throughout 2021. Are they playing catch-up here at the White House, and is it too late for action?
Well, the White House must make voting right protection the priority, not a priority. This administration have demonstrated that when they put their muscle behind it, they could pass a massive package dealing with COVID, a massive infrastructure, historic package for the infrastructure. We must put the same muscle around voting right protections to ensure that all Americans can fully engage in this democracy. Anything less will be destructive to our Constitution.
And Derrick, as former President Donald Trump continues to spread that conspiracy theory and the lies about his defeat in 2020, do you think that Republicans, so many of whom for so long were on board with voting rights legislation, the Voting Rights Act, a much more robust law than ones are being considered right now, was a bipartisan endeavor for decades. Do you think Republicans can be receptive once again to the voting legislation put forward by the Democratic Party?
Well, we have to push forward. You know, 2006 wasn't that long ago. 16 sitting Republicans supported very similar legislation in a bill that passed 98-0. Here's our opportunity to stand up as Americans. This is not a partisan issue. This is not about one community versus another community. This is about ensuring that all citizens who are eligible can fully engage in our electoral politics in a way in which our voices can be heard. Unfortunately, far too many individuals are listening to a person who was voted out of office and is using his microphone to subvert democracy. We should not allow this to happen. This is not about partisanship. This is the right thing to do. Let's stand with history and move forward.
Well, let's talk about some individuals, the moderates in that party, as they're called: Mitt Romney, Lisa Murkowski. Tim Scott of South Carolina introduced his own bill on voting rights about a year ago. Do you think they are gettable on this legislation, or do you think they're in lockstep with the party too?
I think we continue to try. We have met with all of the individuals you mentioned. With NAACP, we're nonpartisan. We've met with Republican members of the Senate, Democratic members of the Senate. What we need in this moment is senators to have enough courage to stand up and not allow this demagogue who have perverted our sense of how this nation should operate continue to dictate the terms of engagement. They are being held hostage. And, you know, one of the things, and I'm glad you brought it up, this is not about two senators, although we have to get Senator Manchin, we have to get Senator Sinema. This is about all 100 members of the Senate standing up in this moment to do the right thing.
You know, and Derrick, you represent one of the great organizations in American life and politics. More than a century now, the NAACP has been fighting for justice, for equal rights, for voting rights. When you do your own lobbying, arm twisting, conversing with members like Manchin, like Senator Manchin, like Senator Sinema, what are you saying and what are you hearing on the other side?
We're very clear that a procedural rule should not impede the protection of a constitutional right. I repeat, a procedural rule should not impede the protection of a constitutional right. For Senator Manchin, we talk about Senator Byrd, one of his idols, how he did not allow a procedural rule to impede protection of a constitutional right. They just went around that procedural rule to increase the debt ceiling to ensure the full faith and credit of our currency will be honored. That demonstrates that this Senate, when there's political will, can get it done. And we are encouraging both Senator Manchin, Senator Sinema, and all members of the Senate, Republican and Democrats alike, to stand up in this time and do the right thing to protect our Constitution, to protect our democracy.
And finally, if I could, there was a notable absence during President Biden's speech in Atlanta yesterday. Stacey Abrams, presumptive Democratic nominee for governor of Georgia, outspoken and successful voting rights activist. She didn't attend. She said it was a scheduling conflict. What's your read on that? And is the Democratic Party even divided because of objections to the president's leadership on this issue?
Well, I've known Stacey for a very long time. Stacey is a hard worker. She's committed to her constituency. She's going to be out there working very hard. I don't read anything into her being president or not president because I know she has a relationship with this administration. But what I want to ensure that the voters Stacey is talking to, they will have the ability to cast a ballot. They will have the ability to have their votes ascertained and the will of the citizens of Georgia be really considered without a state legislative body being able to overturn it. So I don't read anything until Stacey not being there, because I know Stacey is working hard to appeal to the base that she respects, that she loves, and the citizens of Georgia, and that's most important.
Such a critical issue, critical moment for our democracy. Derrick Johnson, President and CEO of the NAACP. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.